2025 City Council meeting to order. And with that, I'll also note that we have a quorum present tonight. We have all council persons present. We have Mr. Cunningham, and we welcome Mr. Cunningham back. And he has moved in the direction of recovery and seems to be doing very well. We appreciate his being here tonight. Thank you. Always good to have you back with us. With Mr. Cunningham, we have Mr. Hall, Ms. Lane, Ms. Massey, and Mr. Peavy, all present tonight. So all council persons are here. And with that, Mr. Cunningham's return to us, I'll ask him to lead us in the invocation. Put it to work.
All right. Father, we do come to you tonight. We thank you for the opportunity that we have together here as a council, and Lord, to be about the business of our city and the concerns, and Lord, just give us the wisdom, Lord, to take care of what needs to be taken care of. Lead us, guide us, and direct us. Be with our city and our state, our county, our nation, Lord, as we go into Lord, a new era, Lord, with a new president, and God, we just pray that your will and your way be done. Lead us and guide us tonight. We ask it in Christ's name. Amen.
Thank you, sir. At this time, citizens may speak on any agenda item during the public forum section of the meeting, or when the item is called for discussion by the mayor. Speakers shall be given 3 minutes per speaker. Citizens wishing to address the council on non-agenda items may do so with the 3-minute per speaker limit. Consistent with the Texas Open Meetings Act, the council members cannot discuss non-agenda items. All speakers will maintain proper decorum when presenting and while in council chambers. Threats, insults, personal insults, vulgar or profane language are out of order and may result in forfeiture of the remaining time and possible removal from the meeting. Citizens wishing to comment must sign up prior to the meeting's start. I'm going to just ask the council members to please use your speakers, your mics this tonight. I'll have to apologize to the audience and to the council. My hearing aids did not come back, and so I am, at this point, having difficulty hearing. So it would be helpful if you use the mics so that I can, and when folks speak, it will be helpful as well. Again, my apologies, but that's what happens sometimes when you start to lose your hearing. All right, we're going to look at the consent items, the minutes from the previous meeting, the liability disbursements, city secretary report, the police department report, utilities department report, and fire department report. Unless there are questions or any issues with those, I'll ask for a motion to approve the consent items.
Not yet. You're going to have to speak up. I'm sorry.
Did you pull up the clipboard?
There is no one to speak on open forum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there an item to be pulled from the consent agenda? No? Then I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion from Mr. Peavy to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second? I have a second from Ms. Lane. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries unanimously. I'm going to make some adjustments tonight per request, and I'm going to move some items from the old business from the new business at this point, so that individuals who are here who are traveling may be able to leave. And I'm going to do that one item at a time because there are 3 or 4 of those that I'm going to ask that we move. And the first one, Chief Dixon asked for new business item A that he be able to speak because he needs to leave as soon as he can. So with that, Chief, you want to go ahead and speak on item A?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. We have a patrol car, one of our older cars, our 2016 White Ford, has gone down. And we took it to a Ford house and got a bid to get it fixed for $1,750. I also spoke to Mr. Blair, and he said that was probably about accurate. However, I don't believe that that car is worth $8,750. It has over 200,000 miles on it, and I don't think we need to go down that route and fixing that car. It's not worth that. We would not get our return on that. We also have another car that over 100,000 miles, and it's give us some issues too. So we're probably going to have to pull over money and work on that. And also, this past week, I received from Ford a recall for our two brand new 2022s. That each one of those might have to pull out of service and new motors. It's recall. It's nothing we've done. It's just they might have to be. We don't know that. It'll be a month or two before we know. So they might be pulled out of service and down also. So that's going to leave us without any cars. So, Honeygrove ISD bought a brand new truck recently, and I was approached by the superintendent and Chief Carter about their patrol car that they have. It is a 2023 Ford Explorer, like what we have, and they're want to give us first bids on buying that car. Like I said, we can either fix the old one like this for $8,700, which that car's not worth $8,700, or the school is willing to sell their 2023 to the city of Honey Grove. It has 14,000 miles on it, still has all the manufacturer warranties, and they're willing to sell that to us for $35,000 if we would like to purchase that. In addition to that, we would probably need about $5,500 to get another, get the striping taken off and get the other items we need in that car to make it serviceable for us. So I'm asking that we not fix the old car. Let's not sink any money into it. It's not going to do us any good. I'm asking that we entertain purchasing the car from Honeygrove ISD and letting us utilize it for us until we can look at other options throughout the year on car replacements. Any questions, I'll answer.
Questions?
Is it gonna come with the, with the instruments in it, the radios and all that? Probably
No,
not.
not the radios. It's going to come, lights will already be in it. It doesn't have a cage in it, but I have plans for that, so we don't spend money on cage. But it's going to come as it sits. As the pictures I showed you, that's the way it's going to come. Like I said, we'll de-stripe it so it'll match our other cars, or I have those plans for that too. But it will come with the lights, console, sirens. It's going to come with everything. Gun rack, the dual gun rack, which is good. We'll just have to take it and get it wired up, and a couple other things, and put a radio on it. But we do have a radio from the car that's down that we would transfer and put it in.
So there's stuff we could transfer from the one that's down into that?
Yes. Radar, camera, and all that, we'll switch it up.
If you were to sell the one that's broke down, what could you get out of it?
We've been talking, and she said, Ms. Lane said in a meeting, we've been talking to Enterprise about cars for the citywide trucks, cars. That car could be used because it's already been sent to them as a trade option and, on this lease thing that we're looking at. But it's not ready to present to y'all yet, but that car will still use it in that trade. As well as the one, if we purchase it, it will be used also, sold back to, if we went this other route, we can sell it for money, added for our purchase of the other project we're working on.
Is this the same vehicle that was smoking at the parade? Smelled like wires burning or something?
No, that was actually one of the new ones. That was one of the cars that was smoking. If it was a wire burning, yes. And the other side of that, where it was paid for, I spoke with Tammy, we do have a little money in the, what is it called?
Surplus.
The surplus that, I know we keep taking from the surplus, it won't be a surplus, but that's where the time that we can use the money.
Gotta have it.
How much do we have in surplus right now?
It'll be about 170
Before this?
Before.
Okay.
So what I'm asking is, if we could purchase this for the 35 from the school, and then an additional 5 to get the other things we need, to get that car fixed, or service for our
So you
car.
need 40,000.
40, yeah. And the superintendent did offer to work out a water trade, but I told him that probably would be a year's worth of free
Of
water.
course he did.
I told him it
I
probably
hope
would
he's
be.
watching too.
And it's a 2023 with 14,000 miles on it?
Yes.
And I did ask him what a new one would cost, and he said like 55, 60. So
Well, I make a motion, we approve the new one from the Honey Grove ISD.
We have a motion for Mr. Peavy. Do we have a second?
Second, too.
The second from Mr. Cunningham. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Councilman.
Next item is, I want us to move is item C, D, E, and F. All of these are related items. They all are about the same thing. We've broken them down into 4 different categories. But I believe that we'll run through them and then consider adopting them if you choose to adopt them all in one package, because they all are related. And we have Deanne Carson here tonight from Capital, from Governor Capital, I'm sorry. And she's going to talk. I'm going to ask you to have you take this mic, or this mic over here, and use it, please.
Okay.
And not only can I not hear, I can never hear the chief, but that's always usual. But audience probably can't hear either, so.
Yeah, I don't talk for that.
that's it.
Is it good?
That's all you got.
That's,
You can pull that forward a little.
Trapped under your leg.
it's good. Okay.
Well, congratulations. We finally made it to the end of this water and sewer project. Water and sewer project. We got $10 million in grant money from the Water Development Board, which is really, really nice. They're very generous this year. Normally, they might give $4 million in grant money. So this was a good year to get $10 million. And then finance a little over $5 million, $5,085,000, at an interest rate of about it's a little over 3%, which is 3.28, which is really, really low. Because my neighbor did it as a CO, it might be more like 5.5 or more. So that's really great. And that one has a payment of it's got $250,000 a year. And then we received $1,785,000 at 0% interest. And that one has a payment of $55,000. And both of these will fund on February 21st. Do you have any questions on this? The payments, they're actually about $305,000 for both of these. In your
This has to do with the adoption of ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of 5,085,000 City of Honey Grove, Texas combination tax and surplus revenue certificates of obligation. And then the adoption of an ordinance authorizing the issue and sale of $1,785,000 City of Honey Grove, Texas combination tax and surplus revenues certificates of obligation, and adopting a resolution approving the execution and delivery of a principal forgiveness agreement with the Texas Water Development Board for $10 million for sewer system improvement projects and other matters. And finally, the adoption of a resolution authorizing directing the establishment of 3 construction accounts with Depository Bank under bond ordinance and principal forgiveness agreement with the Texas Water Development Board. And this has to do with the order of repayment, I believe.
Yes, and all 3 of these are, under the Water Development Board, is, they're series, 3 series within the same financing.
Each item will need to be approved separately.
Needs to be approved separately, okay. So we will, unless there are questions, you have questions of this?
Yeah, this will be, actually, there's outlays that you have to do, they'll deposit into your bank account.
Okay. All right, we'll take them item by item, beginning, unless there are other questions. We'll move to the item C, the adoption of an ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of $5,885,000 City of Honey Grove, Texas combination tax and surplus revenue certificates of obligation. Do I have a motion or discussion about that item?
I'll make a motion.
A motion from Mr. Peavy, second from Mr. Cunningham. All in favor? Raise your right hand. Motion carries. Item D, the adoption of an ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of $1,785,000 City of Honey Grove, Texas combination tax and surplus revenue certificates of obligation. Do we have a motion to approve this one? Have a motion from Mr. Cunningham. Do we have a second? Second from Mr. Peavy. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. C, adopting a resolution approving the execution and delivery of a principal forgiveness agreement with the Texas Water Development Board for $10 million for sewer system improvement projects, resolving other matters related to the subject. Is there discussion or a motion for this one? Motion from Mr. Hall. Do we have a second? And a second from Ms. Lane. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. That brings us to F, the adoption of a resolution authorizing directing the establishment of 3 construction accounts with the Depository Bank under bond ordinance and principal forgiveness agreement with the Texas Water Development Board. We have a motion. A motion from Mr. Cunningham, second. Mr. Peavy, seconds. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries unanimously. And the funds that we're talking about, some time ago, the council, in taking their action regarding the funds, if awarded, was to address existing sewer-related issues for existing sewer-related issues here in town. They're not particularly for new, but to take care of the existing residents who live here in Honey Grove now. The idea being that if we can improve our sewer system, our sewer plant, and the lines that we have existing, then developers have the opportunity, we can accommodate developers who can then tie into the system. Our problem up to this point has been that we have had limitations on how many people, how many kinds of things can tie into the system. So this is a real opportunity for Honey Grove to improve its infrastructure in this way. And so we really appreciate your being here tonight, and unless there's anything else from you, we'll move along.
Congratulations, that's all I have to say. This is really, it's an honor to be your financial advisor, and it's an honor to be able to get y'all such a nice grant. When, first of all, it started out to be nothing, and then they came back and said, there's $10 million. So it's like Santa Claus.
Appreciate it.
We thank y'all for
Thank
your
you.
diligence.
I'll take it.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for your help.
Oh, you're welcome.
Item B, I'm going to back up because right now we've had a contract with Bureau Veritas since 2019. In fact, Bureau Veritas has worked with Honey Grove for a number of years. In fact, several years ago, came in with a group of individuals and laid out a planning document that would look at Honey Grove over the next number of years to try to get us on track to be where we should be at this point. A lot of those kinds of things kind of fell by the wayside as population changed and people left, and a lot of activities didn't happen. But they laid out a plan that looked at roads, sewer lines, and almost everything in the entire plan. It involves a couple of volumes of documents that are at City Hall. But we've had a contract with them for a long time. And we have been fortunate over the last few years to be able to find an inspector to work with the City of Honey Grove kind of on a contract or by item to come and do inspections for us. And since I've been mayor, and just prior to my becoming mayor, we had an individual who was an employee of somewhere like McKinney, but he came through Honey Grove from Paris and would stop off, coming and going to do the inspections. And then we've had someone else who was kind of the same situation. They went somewhere else, they worked somewhere else, but they would come and help us. Then more recently, we were able to get Mark Posey from Bonham, who is with the program over in Bonham, and Mark was willing to come and do inspections for us. But as his job and the demands of his job and his work at Bonham have required more of his time, he has opted not to serve as our city inspector. And so we have a contract with this organization, have had it in Bureau Veritas for a long time. And so we have an individual from the organization here tonight. We've worked with Morris Swanky for a long time as our developer and helping us with planning and developing. But this is an opportunity for us to have someone that we already have a contract with to take on an operation or potentially take on an operation with us. So come on to the front and explain how this works. And we'll let you do the same thing. If you will get the mic, that would be helpful. You have some material from the organization.
So yes, my name is Alan Merritt, Bureau Veritas, third-party inspection services. We pretty much provide a plan review, commercial residential inspection services. Everything's electronic. Y'all can email us plans. Our offices are in Fort Worth, Plano, but I have guys that live in the area, so they're driving by here every day as well. So we can service inspections, plan review, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So I think that's about it. Unless y'all have some questions about the contract, I think that's what I was told.
Yeah, so, like, any change, like, are there any changes, like, from the existing contract that we have with you, because that contract is pretty old, I mean.
So the one I've got that I was looking at before I came here was signed in 2019, I believe. Nothing has changed to that since then.
Okay, so like the fees, is it like, are they based on like the square footage or?
So on residential, and I think it was in 2019, actually, the House bill, something, I can't remember what it is, they made it to where single family residential has to be off of square footage, not valuation. But as far as commercial, plan review, anything else, we base those fees off the valuation of the project. And that's all in the contract, the fee schedule, everything that we would sign the contract with.
Yeah, I just got it today. How well are you with working with a small town? I mean, because we want to see growth in our community, we want to see it safe, but we also want to be willing to work with our citizens and be able to make sure that they can get the projects done that we need to get done.
Right now, I mean, we definitely work in small towns all around. I mean, we definitely do what we can. I mean, usually not an issue.
They work in Leonard, Trenton. Do you still do Whitewright?
Whitewright, Palm Beach, Van Alstine, out this area, there's not a whole lot. There used to be a lot of work in Paris, but I think they've got their own folks in house now.
Like simple permits like, water leak or anything like that, like,
So that would be just like a trade permit, I think. I think it's maybe like,
Usually it was an $80 inspection fee.
yeah, I think it's like 76.92 or something
Yes.
like that. So, like if you don't base those type of inspections, water heater change out, HVAC, that's just a specific trade permit where it's just a set fee.
have we, like, compared, like, is there anybody else local or anything like that, or have
There's,
we looked?
there's honestly, Mark Posey was going to give me a contact. He has not given me a contact, and he hasn't reached out to tell me if there was anybody else. As far as having a contractor come out with Bureau Veritas, everything is electronic, everything is kept in-house with them as in with us. They're out in 24 hours. For re-inspection fees, there isn't any. So if something fails as far as an inspection, they come back out with no fee. Where if you have another contractor like Mark Posey, they charge each time they come out, whether it's failed or passed. They follow whatever international building codes we have, which is 2009. They're not going to, they'll go with those international building codes for any kind of plan reviews or building inspections. They're out in 24 hours. If I send them the request, where if you have an individual contractor, like with Mark Posey, you have to go ahead and wait on their schedule, and sometimes they don't. The people who need the inspections, they need them now.
Yeah, no, we definitely, I've got guys out here every day, if there's an emergency, gas emergency, need a release or electrical. I've got a guy that lives in Rocks, I actually got a guy that lives here in Honeygrove, so we've got people that'll be here pretty quick.
One of the nice things about working with an organization like this, we already have a relationship with Morris in our planning, and Morris has been very helpful in looking at plats and letting us know, letting builders know, letting others know where they need to change, and even a lot of times just making suggestions about how to improve what they're planning to do. But having a group, an organization where we're kind of working together with the inspections, where when the person hands us a plat, we can have it looked at immediately, and if there are inspections, we know that the person coming out is tied to the person who looked at the plat, so you have kind of a smooth transition, and it's electronically submitted, and that's I think a positive step, so that you get something in writing almost immediately.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. And that's proven problematic for us recently.
Yeah, that's just mainly my main concern is just working with the businesses that we have, the growth that we want to see, and also making it realistic for our citizens to get there, not just.
Well, and that has a lot to do with your office employees, because they just come out for the inspections. We're the ones who work with everybody to make sure that they have all the information they need, and also people who can answer their questions in a timely manner. That comes from us, really. Bureau Veritas, they just do what we ask them to do.
That's what we need.
Yes, sir, you have
We
a
don't-
question?
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think we have, we already have a contract with them. I don't think we have to necessarily do anything.
Yeah,
No,
so you
I
got-
wanted to give you information about what was happening, because I didn't think you guys knew you had a contract, because I didn't until I called and asked them.
Yeah, I believe we did a project a year or two ago in RV Park or something. I think that's the only one we've done as far as inspection wise.
And Morris is also, he's the one who's been working on our on our city map, laying out where our city limits are as well. So we've had a relationship with them for a long time.
What do we need a motion or anything?
If we want to,
Your building permits are gonna go up to $80 because they charge $76.94.
76.92 per trip. Unless
Trip.
you're talking about like a single family, brand new construction, and that's a,
That's a whole different.
that's a whole different,
Right.
that's an entire review inspection fees all in one.
So on the bottom of this page right here, where it says building, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fuel, gas, and similar, it says $100 per trade. Is that correct, or is it 76? Because the 76.92 starts at the valuation of the second table that's on that same page.
Well, honestly, I thought I'm gonna have to check on that. It's either, I didn't see this part of it, it's usually 76.92, but actually that's the backup rate, the 76.92.
Yeah.
So, you know, the trade permit is $100, the individual trade permit.
Which means the current permit fees that we have would double. Do we have to make a decision on this right now?
You already have the contract and we're losing Mark Posey at the end of the month. So I'm gonna have to have somebody come in and do inspections.
So is this not something we can move to workshop and possibly get more?
You can move it to workshop, but just know that when people call for inspections, I have to use them until we renegotiate the contract.
I would also
Yeah,
say that we
certainly don't want to hold somebody up from doing whatever they're doing if we have to have an inspection.
I think it would be wise to also see the person that Mark Posey was talking about too.
He hasn't given me the information, but I'll reach out to him again.
Because, yeah, it doubles.
I'll make a motion to go straight ahead with the ones we got contracted to. I mean, we have to go up on ours, we just got to go up on ours.
Mr. Cunningham has presented the motion that we go to Veritas, Bureau of Veritas. Is there a second? All right, it does for lack of a second. Sir, we appreciate your coming, and we may be reaching out again once we try to figure out if we can find somebody to help us.
Thank
Let me know.
you.
I just want to make it clear, we still have, we're still under contract. We can still reach out to them. Correct?
They're under
Okay.
contract,
We're under contract.
and
Okay.
Jamie could call them, but it
Yes.
sounds like you're not suggesting that.
I don't think that was not the suggestion.
No.
I think it was that.
I would like
we're-
more information.
I would like more
Beg
information.
pardon?
I would like more information.
Okay, but in the meantime, if we need an inspection. Yeah.
Then yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then absolutely.
That's all, okay.
Yes.
All right,
That's all I want.
very good.
Thank
You
you.
may be here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, one other, let's see, now I want to move another item, and that is sanitation solution. I review the contract with Sanitation Solution, which will renew February 15th, 2025, and consider shortening the contract term. We've had a contract with Sanitation Solution for a long time, and their work actually here in Ann Grove is, I think, exemplary. I think a lot of times, Jason, you all do a lot of extra things that a lot of places wouldn't do. Folks who can't bring their trash to the street, you all go up and get their trash. You just do a lot of nice things for folks. At any rate, you're here to speak for Sanitation Solutions. And Sarah has worked a lot with Sanitation Solutions, and they're very responsive to Sarah's request when she calls them. You want to use the mic as well? Thank you.
Again, Jason Stevens, Sanitation Solutions. As Mayor, thank you for your kindness. We're proud to get to do what we get to do in the city of Honey Grove. We try to support every organization, whether it's bicycle rodeo or, the Christmas parade or, I think we didn't have a van for the Christmas parade. I think it got canceled because of the weather, and that was kind of maybe a last minute deal. But anyway, if we're asked to support the community, feel like we always have, and we're proud to do it. Just a way to give back to the community. You guys don't always see me, or haven't seen me, but you see our guys. See our guys go pick up trash on Friday mornings, and a lot of the commercials picked up before you even get up. But we're lucky to have those people. We're only as good as them. We're lucky to have some good employees. We're lucky to have good equipment. We're lucky to be able to do what we get to do in Honey Grove. Before you is a proposed amendment. Our contract actually ends next month with mutually agreed upon language in the current contract from when it bid in 2022. It was a 3-year term, which is 3-year contract, which is kind of rare. Usually most all are 5-year contracts. The city chose in 2022 to issue a 3-year contract, and so be it. But what I was asked to provide was a 3-year extension, which we agreed upon contract. So that's what you have. I presented today to the council, to the city office, Sarah and so. If you don't have a copy of that, I've got a copy if you want to look at it. And basically, it's just changing the term. All the other items, cleanup containers, citywide cleanup efforts, trucks, school scholarships, all that stuff is still the same. We did attach a rate sheet to be effective for the new contract term. And all the other languages is the same. 18 to 20 roll-off containers for cleanup efforts in city yard, and so on and so forth. So, again, Mayor, we're happy to present this to you guys. Happy to be here. Happy to get to do what we get to do in Honey Grove. I'll take any questions that you guys may have.
I really like how you were talking about the community involvement because y'all do with scholarships and stuff like that. And I want to kind of be a squeaky wheel just for a minute because Police Chief took some of the money. I'm really wanting to see some improvements in Crockett Park. And I was wondering, like, would there be any way that y'all could provide either playground equipment or trees or just something so we can improve our park, and like maybe we can get a sign and say this was provided by Sanitation Solutions or just something like that. I know you already do a lot, but I kind of want to be a squeaky wheel for a minute and just.
Yeah, Mr. Hall, and the situation that I brought up was for the Christmas parade, I believe, because it was going to be on November the 3rd. At the last minute, we were asked to help sponsor the band that was eventually canceled. To your point, yes, Mr. Hall, if y'all get a project going like that and need sponsors, say if there's a group that's Rotary Club or Lions Club or whatever, it's going to take on the park project. Yeah, I mean, we have limited funds, but we'd be the first one to say, yeah, we'd love to support your event, support your fundraising event for trees or park benches or something like that. We'll start it off, here's $500, something like that. Yeah, Mr. Hall, we're do about that.
Recently, there was also another contractor, Derek Weeks, who would like to put in a bid. We sent him the contract. Unfortunately, he had a family emergency come up and couldn't attend. And he would like for a council member or to reach out to him so that he can explain what he would like to provide as well.
And I had one contact me this morning, Cards Trash Service. And they wanted to get a contract together to present.
Okay.
So.
Other questions?
Well, I think we know exactly what Sanitation Solutions can do and what they will do, what they won't do. And, I mean, if these other guys, not disrespecting them any, but if they wanted to get it, you know, be it in here, they should have. I mean, it's well after the first of the year. And, we got to roll with this thing as far as I'm concerned. And, I'm ready to vote on it if y'all are. I'll make a motion that we stay with Sanitation Solutions. If somebody else wants to bid, you know, they need to do that next year.
Mr. Cunningham, again, has presented a motion to go with Sanitation Solutions. Do we have a second?
Hold on, I've got one real quick question. So is it ends on the 20, whatever, it ends in February, the
Well,
16th?
Yes, Ms. White, what we're asking, our contract ends the 19th or 16th of February. What we presented was, we're asking for it to renew for another 3 years.
Okay, perfect.
And with everything else like the same. There isn't an attached rate sheet effective at the end of that contract. But everything else was the same.
I second that motion.
For your,
You second
same
the
for
motion.
your turn.
We have a motion from Mr. Cunningham, a second from Ms. Lane. All those in favor? Mr. Hall, Mr. Cunningham, Ms. Massey, Ms. Lane, vote yes. So is there a no?
Really a no, our next meeting is scheduled February 11th, and the contract's not up till the 19th, so I thought
you abstaining?
look at another
You're
contract.
abstaining or voting no? Abstaining. We have one abstention from Mr. Peter, but the motion carries with 4 votes. Thank you, sir. And again, you all, I think, do a great job. When this contract was initiated this last time, I believe we had a couple of people who came and provided information to us, and we ended up going with Sanitation Solutions.
That's right, that was, yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And the last item that I'm going to move forward so that we can get you out of here is item, and I don't care how long you stay. You're welcome to stay forever if you like, though. But the last item has to do with the Honey Grove Library Learning Center contract, and we have historically supported the Library and Learning Center with a donation to support the projects and the work that they do here at Honey Grove. And if anybody questions at all about the funds that we, the city council votes to give to them, they just need to come and be here in the summer and see all of the kiddos that are in and out of this building on a daily basis, from little ones up to older ones, and the outstanding work that this center has always done and has improved upon and continues to do. And so I believe the last time we had the contract, I think it was Mr. Hall that suggested that we go up on what we were donating, and I don't remember how much we were donating. You had, Jane?
500?
500. 500 a month is what we were doing. And so that's what we have in the contract that we would be donating to the library. And again, it's probably one of the best donations we make. And if the question has to do with what we do for the citizens of Honey Grove, it's what they do with the funds that we provide. And in addition to their accreditation, there is a section in there that asks, does the city of Honey Grove support the library? Yes. So there you are.
Is it
Any
500?
questions?
Is it 500 a month?
500.
We should at least make it like 510. I mean, we got, everything else goes up.
What do you suggest?
And we have up at 520 a month.
540, I'll say 600.
How much?
600 a month.
What's
How
in our
much?
budget?
600 a month.
600 a month.
6,000.
We can't afford 600 a month.
Well, who's making that motion?
I'm making that motion.
Eric, are we sure that it's 500 a month?
Huh?
Yeah, it's in here. It's
It's
500.
in here at 6,000. I believe it was 5,000 previously.
It was what?
I believe it was 5,000 prior
I think it
to.
started out
Okay.
like 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the motion?
Make a motion,
$600.
$600
So that'd
a
be
month.
70 to
Okay.
Go
100.
up $100.
Motion for $600 a month, right?
Yeah.
From Mr. Cunningham. Do we have a second? Have a second from Ms. Massey. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. There you go. Thank you, and your staff and folks who continue to serve. We appreciate
Thank y'all
it.
very much.
All right, now we're back on track and we'll move along. All right, we're going to back up to old business, fence ordinance amending the section 24.9 of the zoning ordinance 98-4A. And this has come before council a number of times, and I hope we're ready to take action.
As he looks at me.
Discussion.
I noticed in there that there's, I didn't see it. I've had surgery and I've got a lot of medication going on. But, the color, I mean, to be honest with you, we got one right down up the road from me across from Benji. I'll just tell you, it's got like 5 different colors of metal on it. And that just burns my biscuits. I mean, I don't see anything that in the ordinance.
I think the intentions with that, 'cause I was told by them, they plan on making it black.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. But, I mean, I asked about it, we really hadn't addressed it
So on
in
this one here,
form
the
or
7
fashion.
days, is that
that I
just
know
the
of.
notice of the
It
violation?
doesn't bother me if somebody wants to do that.
It bothers the heck out of me.
House person.
I think
Jamie,
to
do you
build
want-
a house like that.
On the notice of
community,
violation?
you ought to
On the
make
7 days,
everything
it's on
about
page
it
5.
nice. That's just me.
Is that
My
just for
fence
the
looks like a
notice?
dog pound leg.
This has to be issued
Shouldn't have
within
to
7 days? Like, how long do they have to fix it? Because I know that was an issue before.
It's code enforcement,
Nice.
so usually code enforcement gives them up
I've
to
seen
30
some
days.
nice dogs
Okay.
trying to-
But they just
So,
received the violation within 7 days.
Yes, because then they have to
Are-
go before the judge.
Gotcha.
And after the
Okay.
violation, it's out of our hands.
You make me think the
The
ordinance
must
is okay.
write the hearing. Okay.
So is there further discussion on the fence?
So should we include in here, because I don't see it now, I know before now it says there's a 7-day violation or a 7-day notice of violation, but there's not anything in here that specifies how long they have to fix the issue or correct whatever the violation is for. Do you think that that needs to be included in this ordinance?
So
It's a
is
question
that
for you.
It's a legislative decision, you can send somebody a notice, they don't fix it, then they don't fix it, but if you put a timeline on it.
Yeah, go down and tell them, you know.
Okay.
14 days.
Okay.
It's not, the way you put the city is in a position, they don't get that notice, you can't do anything about
Okay.
it. They've got to get that notice, but the notice has to be filed someplace, it has got to be the custodian of that notice. Because when I come in, I'll go, hey, when was the notice sent? How do we know it was delivered?
Right.
We have to deliver it on that. You get the police department to deliver them, but there has to be, that notice has to have a custodian, somebody has to be in charge of it, because then the clock will tick. And if you put, hey, we have 14 days from the day of receiving the notice, to fix whatever's in the notice.
That's just part of legislative things, right?
I'm sorry.
That's just part of the council doing their job and legislature.
Well, it's part of figuring out, does the ordinance do what we want it to do before we pass it? Yeah, sure. And if that's something you guys want to put in there, then sure, it can be added in.
I just think there needs to be some sort of timeline because just because you've received the notice, it's not saying any type of criteria that you have to follow. Like you have so many days to fix this, or it's just saying, okay, you received a notice of violation.
I think
There's
that's probably 30 days.
nothing more.
Yeah, some people get paid once a month, so.
Yeah, we do. So yeah, I think if we could add that, that would be great.
So are you thinking 2 weeks, 30 days?
I think 30 days is enough just because like he said, some people do get paid once a month. Some people, I mean, it may take them that long to fix it, whether jobs, kids.
So
cetera.
you would take action on a motion, but with the
With
addition
that
of
addition.
30 days timeline to address the issue.
Comply
Yes.
to the issue.
Is there a second?
I see.
And a second, from Mr. Peavy. All in favor? Ms. Lane, Ms. Massey, Mr. Cunningham, Mr. Peavy, all those opposed? Mr. Hall. Mr. Hall opposes, the motion carries with 4 council members voting for it. Next one has to do, B has to do with maintenance of the out-of-service fire hydrants. We had a discussion last time about someone that Mr. Rickman had suggested, or who works with, maybe it was Mr. Peavy, who works with improving and repairing fire hydrants. You want to speak to that, Mr. Peavy?
Yes, the man's name is Jay Newland. He just got finished doing windows, fire hydrants. Talked to him today. He's got Mr. Massey's phone number. He's gonna coordinate with him next week to come give us an estimate of what it would cost. But he's gonna come look at all the fire hydrants, figure out which ones need repaired or replaced, and let us know free of charge before he does anything.
I like that.
better.
So next month, we can put this back on the agenda and we should have a
Okay.
price of what all's wrong and what all it's gonna cost.
You think maybe you might have something by the time we do a workshop?
Possibly. He
Okay.
said he'd be here Tuesday,
Okay,
so.
good. Okay, we will put this one aside until we have more information. All right, C, we're finally down to review seal bids for, no, we're not down to your issue yet. Review seal bids for 225 Kirkpatrick Circle, Honey Grove Armory. Do we have one?
It's the envelope right there.
Right here, right on top.
Jamie,
Jamie, careful.
did you get the, letter sent to you from Don about the,
No, he'd never sent me anything.
He didn't, he withdrew.
no, I was talking about the,
Oh,
where he had it all inspected.
No, he never sent me
Okay,
anything.
I'll call him up and remind him.
all right, this is from Daniel Allen. Allen Precision Manufacturing, custom manufacturing for the aerospace automation defense industries, utilizing state-of-the-art CNC and measuring equipment, expansion of business through utilization of property and improvement property conditions. Bid is $20,000. Condition of bid is property title free and clear of any previous liens or claims on dates of transfer will assume all liability from the date of property title transfer forward. Daniel Allen. $20,000.
The two Outback buildings, they're worth probably 60,000, 70,000 apiece. Just the two structures out there.
Yeah.
And then you got the land. I mean, the old building, I mean, it's gonna, I told Don that it's gonna cost about 200,000 to fix it, because I'd already had it bid. And he said 200,000 would just barely touch it. And that's cleaning up the asbestos that, it's already been tagged with the state that it's got asbestos. So I don't know if
Yeah,
this
I
guy.
think that's one of the things that Don found with his
Yeah.
folks was
Yeah.
that, and that was part of his issue, I think, his concern.
This is one that I'm gonna abstain from voting on, but because it's my, half brother. But I can tell you from, I mean, it is a legit business. He makes parts for Tesla, he makes parts for, the defense. I mean, it's pretty cool what he does. I don't think his intentions really are for the main building right now. I think the value that he sees right now is probably in those back buildings, those machines that he has. Pretty big machine, pretty impressive, but I'm gonna abstain from voting on this, but I can go to credibility this business, it is a legit business, and he knows what he's doing, and that business runs pretty well.
Is it a business that would bring jobs to Honey Grove?
I could see future, I could see a few jobs. I don't see a big manufacturer right now. Right now, he works for a company, and he actually does this when he comes home, and I mean, I'm shocked by some of the things that he makes. I mean, it's really cool. But I brought it up to him about it. I'm like, hey, like, this is, I'm tired of seeing our buildings around town just caving in and just abandoned. And, like, I would rather see things on the tax road. But like I said, I want to completely sustain. I don't want to vote on it, but I would like to just talk to the credibility of what he put in.
You should have told me that before I mouthed off.
No, the thing is, yes, the buildings, you're exactly right. The buildings are worth that in the back. But with that comes the other stuff that comes along with it. And I think that's probably what he was weighing into. I can't speak for him on that. But yes, the value, you're exactly right. The value is in those back buildings.
Because I mean, I'd hate to see it sit there another 20 years, you know, because without being used, because pretty soon them back buildings will start deteriorating. Right now they're in good shape. We've got enough stuff in them.
So,
You got a suggestion?
He's the only one that gave us a bid. And right now, it's not doing anything for us. It's gonna cost us $500,000 to repair the armory itself.
Then we got to deal with all the asbestos.
Yeah, I mean, it's, that 200 is not gonna touch it for all that stuff that's got to be done.
Not really.
My opinion is we sell it, hopefully in the near future, we can bring some jobs in off it.
Did that bid provide an expected date for completion?
it's said, yeah. What is
The
that?
bid, did it come with a
It,
date of completion?
it did not come with a date of completion. We can ask for some sort of commitment before we move forward with it, sure.
That would be that would be my concern.
Yeah, I think we could go back to it and say, we want to know what you're going to do and when you're going to get it done.
When?
Timeline, yeah. So we can do that, absolutely. There's no, we can do what we want to. You're a council. Well, to a point. I'm sorry, Mr. Evans. Okay, all right, so we'll go back to it and ask him. Okay. All right, I believe, let's see, we have one more group who are sitting here waiting, so I might as well go ahead and do this. And that is going to be, I've got to skip over, now new business, I think.
No, D.
Right here, okay. D, review the seal bid for 218 South 6th Street. We're finally doing it. And it is sealed.
In pocket knife?
Either you or Jamie didn't want anybody peeking. All right. I have anything on there. Did you include an amount in here? This is what you gave us before, isn't it? Yeah. I would assume that we would get a bid on kind of the dollar amount.
All of that information is in there, isn't it? Yeah.
Did you have it? But I didn't see a dollar amount in there for the building. No?
But that proposal is what he would do with a dilapidated building. So to me, the value of bringing a business in, putting it back on the tax roll is worth way more than it just sitting there. Whether he
Just
gave
to
us,
be cleaned up,
yes,
utilized and taken
yes,
care of.
no money or,
That's the issue.
Do you want the second bill?
So he gave us a comment.
Yeah.
In fact, we got two of them.
The council is what you want to do if you want to.
Hey, we got two of them down there.
Alright.
We could give him 2 for 1 and get it all back on tax roll.
so I motion that the city deed both of those properties to, I don't know, Mr. Webb or the company that you represent, to get it back on the tax roll with a timeline expected of 18 months.
Within what?
18 months.
18 months.
Timeline.
Second.
We have a second. We have a motion from Ms. Lane and a second from Mr. Peavy. All in favor? Motion carries. There you go.
I want to get one free.
Now. All right. All right, I believe that we are down to E, and with that, I will, at this point, the city of Honey Grove does not routinely list the items for executive session consideration. However, consistent with the authorities cited below, the city may retire into executive session as permitted and as needed on agenda items as authorized by the Texas Government Code section 551.071, consultation with attorneys, or 551.072, deliberations regarding real property, or 551.072, deliberation regarding gifts and donations, 551.074, personnel matters, 551.076, deliberations regarding security devices, 551.07, deliberations regarding economic development negotiations, and finally 321.3022, confidential sales tax information. And so with that, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a
Motion from Mr. Peavy, and second from Ms. Lane. All in favor, raise your right hand. And it is 7:03. We will go adjourn to executive session. And I think there may be some folks in the history room back there. We may have to go into a different room. I'm not sure if they're finished.